Benito, hijo de Benito, le decían Tito, el mayor de 6 trabajando desde chamaquito, guiando camiones como el pai y el abuelo. Aunque su sueño siempre fue ser ingeniero, un día Tonito lo invitó para hacer una mudanza, para buscarse el par de pesos para algo alcanza. Gracias a Dios que ese día no estaba bici, porque en la mudanza fue donde conoció a Lizzy, la menor de 3 que se criaron con doña Juanita, porque su papá y mamá partieron estando chiquita. Prometió graduarse antes de casarse y lo cumplió diciembre del 9-2. Con Tito se casó antes de irse para el Mirante, donde se conocieron, vivieron en Morovi, en donde hicieron al nene, que en Bayamón por primera vez vieron. Un aplauso pa' mami y papi, porque en verdad rompieron.
fuck. אני אנסה קודם את זה, אני לא יודע. רואים טוב, נכון? סתם נראה ככה מטושטשים בחוץ. זה נראה גרוע.
GBP, I don't know if she really wants C for C. It could be the GIAs or the G5 plane, I don't know what the reason be. When we step in the field, you can tell we ain't scared, no security guard, we was free man deep. My old clients are proud of the kid, they remember me selling sativa weed. I like regular girls, we fucked in her parents' house. She surprised I remember it well, cause I've been all over the world and back, get a bag and a pair of them hoes. Balenci bag with the mirror attached, so she could stare at herself. Alright, the seats go all the way back in the Maybach, put your feet up and enjoy the ride. I was gonna book her Uber until she said that she's living in Croydon side. I'm avoiding the hype. She do OnlyFans if she fucking with man and her soul's got spite. I ain't gotta give her the pin to my Amex. You can take it, just tap it, the way that she's shaking, it's a talent. Same day laundry service, cause she got makeup on my jacket. I lived in a hood with the crackheads, now my neighbour is a Karen. Got A-listers but I don't discriminate, I got one working in retail. I can't keep up with my Gen Z ting. First it was TikTok, now she on B-roll. Brown skin but she lives in Surrey, she whitewashed, it ain't free no. Back then I would take her to Nando's, fill up the water, cup with a refill. Now it's Beverly Hills and Mr. Chow or Mayfair and Parchin what? I feel like a snob when I'm giving the keys to the valet and tell him to park the car. I'm a dog, I'm starving, hungry, tell the waiter bring the starters fast. Alright.
Solo ha cambiado el salario. PR chiquito y su gente gigante, de ahí es que saco los ovarios. Esto no es por moda y tampoco es claro, hacemos lo que sea necesario. Todavía estoy loading sin apretar, ya los que callamos fueron varios. Ahora en París, Fashion Week,
ده كده
si la veo desde la tarima y me gusta, la trepo para ver su reaction. Se la vive conmigo acá arriba, ver cómo la miran, le da satisfaction. Ey, si París está bueno, yeah, pero wanna leave. Afuera está el whip y el blanco, push start, ahora no tiene keys. Va un par de días que no duermo, cuál es el cuarto no me acuerdo. Solo sé que es el piso más alto, ahí es que la parto y luego me pierdo. Deuces, no quiero tu número, I won't use it. Yo te hablo claro, no excuses. Dime cómo prefieres las luces, pide todo lo que quieras mi reina. Me encanta cuando te me luces, pero no te enamores, I treat you right, cause baby, the state of the music. Vida pública y los viajes en privado. Mala mía que no he contestado. Una pa' pasar la vida, la otra el rato. Son dos choris con el culote apretado. Mucha gata, afogata, todas las prendas y la plata no es crecida, que ahora estamos conectados.
يا النتسخ الاشتيات
It all starts with you. Everything you ever wanted, everything you ever dreamed. It starts now, it starts today. There is no tomorrow. I'm tired of your fucking excuses, nigga. Ain't nobody coming to save you, nigga. It's you. It's you versus you, nigga. So how bad you want this shit, huh? Come on. Yeah. My social meter ran out, so you know I'm finna dip. I just wanna stack this cake, stay out the way, yeah, that's it. Ain't nobody gave a damn about a young nigga till you got rich. I'm geeking way too hard, yeah, I'm finna glitch. I just changed my whole lifestyle. I just cut off dead weight. Now they know I'm fly as shit. We always have potential, I'm just cashing in my chips. Belly might kiss my stiff, yeah, cause he don't miss. I don't get my energy from nobody except my clique. Yeah, I just put
Wow,
the work in,
je
see
fais
how
ça
I put
chaîne.
it on a dish. They don't say congratulations, but you know they watch that shit. I ain't even gon' get mad. I'm young, black and rich. She tryna sell me lies, bitch. I ain't buying shit. If we ain't talking money, then I'ma plead the fifth. I put ice in my mouth, yeah, I'm hydrated. I ain't even gon' get mad. I'm young, black and rich. She tryna sell me lies, bitch. I ain't buying shit. If we ain't talking money, then I'ma plead the fifth.
וואי, איזה שוק משעמם, לא יודע.
support Tom on this, but honestly, straight up, who do you think? Hello, no way. All right, ready? I think it's in lieu and in line with the speech that I just gave about the things I like in the market and the things that I don't like in the market. Are y'all ready for it? Can I get like, I'm a little scared to put his PFP on here because it's like a hot. Can I get some love like the good old days, man? Pregnant man soul in here like the good old days. Can I get some love like the good old days? I wish we had the chat on the screen. All right. I'm kind of scared. I love you, pregnant man. My hot seat number 1. And my... All right. In my opinion, I was gonna put Support Tom on this, but on first and foremost, not even. And this looks like I'll show the useless.
The Solana trenches where it's been taken away in an.
Bonk guy cooked on Aster, but people that are in the bonk, not Aster guy.
It was
The fuck?
Lots happened since you came on, and I don't know, a couple months ago.
Yeah, I would agree.
A lot's happened, dude. And look, man. Look, I don't want to toot my own horn, but there weren't that many people that were publicly bullish at the lows on Pump. I was one of them, and you, Cordy, were absolutely one of them. I don't know if you know this, but I'm an avid reader of your Telegram chat, and you basically nailed the move the whole way. And I wanted someone to come on and talk about Pump in particular, and I think you deserved the spotlight and some flowers. So congratulations on the trade. Can you talk to me about your trade? Like, how big was... you don't got to do numbers if you don't want, but how hard did you size? Where are you at? Like, walk me through your trade here.
So I just had like this like moment at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I just got finished reading a tweet. It's bad, but like Twitter's usually like one of the last apps I'm on before I go to bed, and I had just got finished reading a tweet. I'm not sure his name off the top of my head. Someone might recognize. He has like a dog picture with like a purple wizard hat on it, and he tweeted out like a $2.5 million P&L on hype. Like he caught the move from like $40 to $50 on leverage and was up like $2 million. And he quoted it, and he's like, "The only thing that matters in a bull market is if you went hard enough." And that was moments after reading. This was on August 27th. I have the tweet pulled up in front of me right now. when Pump Fund tweeted out that over the last week, like we've purchased back like $10 million in pump tokens, which like equivalated to like 4% of what they've bought back now, and I was just like, wow, this trade is literally right here. And it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I do a decent amount of spot trading on Coinbase, believe it or not. And I just turned a twap on for a 7-figure position, and I just went to bed. And then I just woke up and I just started bull posting.
Whoa. What
Yeah.
price did you buy at?
So my average was literally like 0.003 like flat.
Whoa.
And I have to say, I give some credit. I shouted him out like a week ago on my Twitter. Um, his name is Akuma. He AKUMA. He quote tweeted that specific pump tweet, and like he really put it into like a highlighted version of the tweet that all right, pump has bought back 4% and hype had bought back 8%. And I know that like the hype versus pump debate in the beginning was pretty dead, but now I was like, oh wow, now there's like a real debate to be had about this. And then it was purely just like, wow, this is just like a numbers game. Like if someone wanted to make a spreadsheet of this, like this trade is just gonna make a lot of obvious sense in hindsight.
The second it became well done, by the way. The second,
you.
so you put 7 figures in it. 0.03 is crazy. 0.003. The second it became the charts and the splits between pump revenue and hyperliquid revenue, I was like, oh yeah, fill the wick. This is gonna heat up.
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like a lot of people just weren't. A lot of people were just kind of like not willing to accept that
At all. And it's
at all.
it's funny because you know I talk about how for these massive size trades, for the market to be wrong, there has to be some layer of friction. Hyperliquid was, I think, twofold. One, a lot of people don't trade perps, so they didn't even understand that it was a good perp dex, and that the platform was the best, and a lot of people didn't farm it. And then the second was it being on Arbitrum was such a just pain in the ass that I think a lot of people that would have traded it didn't. The thing about Pump is everyone that bought and was bullish Pump, also proof of work, thanks for the gifted, on TGE, got absolutely cooked the whole way down. Everyone got absolutely fried, and it was a lot of the bigger traders were trying to size in at TGE. They got cooked. And then a lot of the meme coin, new payer, meme scope type of guys that maybe could have bid were getting cooked in the trenches simultaneously. And so by the time we bottomed, everybody was just like, fuck Pump Fun. Like, this thing is cooked. The trenches are cooked. On-chain is fried. Fuck Pump Fun. And it, dude, I mean, it felt like there was less than 20 people that were publicly posting about Pump Fun at the bottom. Like, and when you look at it now, it feels to me like nobody actually holds this coin still. Like, what do you think about that?
No, 100%. I literally had that exact thought like earlier in my head. Like you took the words out of my mouth that like immediately Hyperliquid, everyone who's using it, they know how good the platform is, and all the people who just like made like generational wealth off of that, they were already making money like trading perps like on the platform. It's like the best airdrop that ever touches down in like crypto history, and it just goes up only for the first month. And Jeff makes everyone rich. Everyone's happy. A lot of people missed it, and it's complete inverse of Pump. Everyone gets fucked. Like no one makes any money unless you literally sold day one, and then it just like goes down only. And there was like a real lack of communication. So like everyone was just so like against the trade because of how it went in the first 4 days. And I feel like that caused a lot of people to, I don't know what the word is, but like a lot of people were just like against it because of how the TGE went, which I can get behind that. It kind of was a disaster, and it happened at a really bad time because of how Bonk was gaining market share. And I mean, like even at one point, I thought to myself, "Wow, this is like super fried." But I mean, he brought it back together, so
Did you trade it on TGE?
I did, yeah. I round tripped a lot of money. Uh, and I had like a public crash out on Twitter where I was like half of it was like shit posted and the other wasn't. I sent like 50 tweets in a day just like shitting on Pump, shitting on Allen, trying to like mentally like bottom it. And I didn't actually end up losing money because I got out before it went below prices. And then when like the idea popped back into my head, I was like, all right, like we're gonna go for it again. And now this trade has been better than the original PNLI round trip. So
I actually
well,
remember.
don't lie.
I actually remember your crash out. People were calling you out and shit too. It was wild. People were like, "How much fucking money did you put in this thing?" I remember that. That was wild.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a good one though.
I had a bigger position than I ended up rebuying, but it's a larger P&L now because I got to enter from a lower price, so the multiple's higher. But yeah, I mean, there was a lot of money on the line, and I was like thinking to myself like, wow, like because like Alan was silent for like 2 3 days, and I think the market evidently didn't like the things that he came on and said on your stream because it went down like another what, like 25% after your stream, like the first
It was
one.
also one of these things where like, I, I don't think there was much he really could have said. Basically,
Yeah,
everyone had to
no.
just sell and get out because
Yeah,
there wasn't
yeah.
like what could he have said? You know, I don't think he could even legally come on and say we're gonna, I don't think Hyperliquid has ever overtly
No,
said.
they have it.
They just do
That
it
was that
every day, right?
They just
Like,
do it. Yeah.
and
Yeah, that was another piece that I like put together like further down the line that like, all right, he can't like make this promise. So, it's it just became it became a very clear debate of like his actions did eventually become louder than his words. And then there was that original rally where like it peaked above ICO for maybe like a day, and then it fell back off again. And then when I saw those numbers, I was like, wow, this dip is literally like generational, like the visiting the point .02 range again.
do you okay? So well done sniping the bottom. I think it's like the story of how we got there is pretty clear. It makes sense. It's kind of this like perfect shitstorm all tied together. Also, the market didn't look great as well, and pump look grinds lower, lower, lower. You snipe the bottom, and then it seemingly all at once becomes consensus on CT, and we could talk about that a little bit. But my first question is, do you think right now at $8 billion FDV, it is too late to enter into a pump trade?
Um, I don't. So I don't think it's too late. Like obviously it's very different. Like the daily chart is the last 5 days of the daily is like giant green wicks. So you have to be careful. But like I've been like backtracking on like a lot of the things that I was originally putting into my like thesis on like why this is so good. And like I look back to a tweet that I set out on September 3rd. I've been like heavily using like the fees.pumpfund website for like a lot of like the shills. Great website to just like see how much they're buying. And on September 3rd, they'd offset 4.3% of the supply. Flash forward today, it's the 16th, and they have offset now 6.7. So that means they're averaging 0.1% of the supply offset every single day, more than zero point 0.1. And why that's so important is because on September 3rd, the price was at 0.004, and they have maintained the amount they've been buying back, not USD wise, but percent wise, as the price has literally gone up more than 2x. So across 2 weeks, they've maintained the same amount of percent supply because the USD value is just increasing, increasing, increasing. Because the thing that Pump gets exposure to that I I don't want to strictly compare Pump versus Hyperliquid, but it just makes the most sense because they're like top 5 protocols and they do the same buybacks. It just makes the most sense if you want to be bullish Pump. Because Pump gets exposed to little unique pockets of crypto that Hype just can't. And Pump sees these random like surges of revenue, like with the creator capital markets. And that's just something that like for Hype, for example, it'd be like the actual Pump token itself. They pre-listed it. It did like 500 million in open interest. But whenever these little like pockets pop up in crypto, for the foreseeable future, I see no reason why they wouldn't take place on Pump Fun, and they're still actively buying back 0.1% of the supply a day. They just crossed 9 figures in buybacks today. Like, the most important question that like always is gonna like any person who's gonna purchase a token is like, what's the next thing? What's the next catalyst? Who's buying after me? Like, you have a 99% twap buying back multiple 7 figures every single day. Like, that's who's gonna buy after you.
This fees that
So I don't know. I don't know if it's too late, you know, but it's like, if you just want to continue to use the hype pump metrics, I don't know. I don't think a spreadsheet guy would say it's too late.
Spreadsheet guy. The fees.pump.fun website is incredible.
It is. It's so simple. It's so like aesthetically pleasing.
I mean, it's a movie. They have purchased 6.778% of the total circ, and that is 100,354,000.
And they've been trading for 2 months.
Wow. That is. I actually haven't been on this website. I just watch people tweet it. It's pretty crazy.
This is your first time on fees.bumpfun?
How crazy is that? It's like my biggest bag.
Like, you can like see, like,
dude,
if you
look at
scroll
this.
down, you see the token purchases.
Percentage of
They
daily
bought
revenue. Spreadsheet guy.
7 figures every single day. Like, that's who's gonna buy after you.
This fees.pump.
So I don't know. I don't know if it's too late, you know, but it's like, if you just want to continue to use the hype pump metrics, I don't know. I don't think a spreadsheet guy would say it's too late.
Spreadsheet guy. The fees.pump.fun website is incredible.
It is. It's so simple. It's so like aesthetically pleasing.
I mean, it's a movie. They have purchased 6.778% of the total circ, and that is 100,354,000.
And they've been trading for 2 months.
Wow. That is. I actually haven't been on this website. I just watch people tweet it. It's pretty crazy.
This is your first time on fees.bumpfun?
How crazy is that? It's like my biggest bag.
Like, you can like see, like,
dude,
if you
look at
scroll
this.
down, you see the token purchases.
Percentage of
They
daily
bought
revenue.
$3 million yesterday.
Percentage of daily revenue yesterday, 99%. The day before, 100.4%. They spent more. Day
Yeah.
before, 95. Day before, 99, 98, 99, 113%. 76, 100, 99, 102%. 99, 96, 100, 99, 101, 102, 94, 95, 97, 104, 98, 98. I mean, it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's absurd.
They're basically spending every dollar back. And it's like, you know, when we talk about the revenue, chat's asking for the website, it's fees.pump.fun. You know, when we talk about the revenue meta, it's funny because people ask, like, people want every company now to do the hyperliquid model, but no one can do the hyperliquid model because you're not hyperliquid. And the thing about Pump that's so funny is that they have, I don't know the exact number, but they have 10 figures in cash, 10 figures in cash sitting there. That's theirs. And it's separate from the fees and the revenue that they do. Like, they don't actually need the fucking money.
Yeah.
And so they could just slam it back into this token, which is going up, and they're actually making a lot of money by doing this because we're at all-time highs, so they're up substantial on the 6.7%. Now, can they sell it? No, but, you know, that's its own problem within the problem. But nobody else can do this, what Pump and Hyperliquid are doing.
No. Yeah, no. No one is, yeah. No one is, like, I'm pretty sure, like, ENA just got cleared or something for, like, 500 million in buybacks or something, and I think it's some structured around, like, if it's above 0.7 they do like 5 million, or if it's below, and it's like, so they literally have like a price at which they're buying back, and then they have a set amount. It's like what I was just saying, there's gonna be weird pockets of pump funds revenue that are gonna be unexpected, and if Sol continues to remain bullish in this range, and even if like it's a constant debate about whether or not on chain's actually hot or not, just because people are like constantly getting rinsed. But it's like there's a ton of people who would tell you on chain is absolutely awful right now, and every single token you buy is going to go down 90% or you're going to get rugged. But it's like that may be true, so that's why you would buy pump, because you can own the casino that just made $3 million yesterday and put it all back into the token.
This is the take, and I've been saying a lot. I mean, meme scope demons are getting just destroyed, but we'll cover that next. I want to ask you first, how do you, and I'm honestly selfishly asking this for myself. I have clipped 20% of the bag. It's probably like 35% of my port right now. It's insane. It wasn't supposed to be, but it became it. How do you exit this position? Like, is it the thesis changes? Is there some levels that you've set? I mean, you have multiple 7 figures. You couldn't have been more correct on entry and then market catching up to your thesis. It's happened. It's all happening right now. We're still basically 5% off ATH. How do you exit this trade? Like, what is your plan?
Yeah, so my first exit was like right around 0.06, just because that was like a flat 2x. I don't know. My first exit was like right around 0.06, just because that was like a flat 2x. I don't know how much I sold. It was a decent amount, but that was just like a mental number. I was like, all right, it's up 100%. We're just underneath 8th, which is potentially a psychological level that people are gonna front run. But then when I just saw it wake up that one day after the up bid and Binance listing, like little small dip, and then it just ripped through 8th, I was just like, all right, at this point, I think I trimmed it a little bit more, 0.082, 0.083, but I can't see myself fully exiting this when I'm actively watching the revenue increase. Like their foot is fully on the gas right now, and I see no reason why people who, if they were sidelined, would look at that and be like, that's not the reason to enter. I don't know. I think a penny is another psychological level, but I think it's just like as long as they're continuing to do what they're doing, I see no reason to fully exit.
Yesterday was the most they bought back by a lot, by the way. First time they bought $3 million, and it's like 400 and some change higher than their second highest day. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah.
That is unreal. And the one day, August 9th, they bought 0. The next day, they bought 200%.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's hard. I mean, how do you? Because for me, and I even DM'd you, and I'm like, what the fuck do I do with this bag? It's become a psychological thing where the number gets so big that I'm like, you start to waver a little bit. No, it's like act like you've been here before, but you're not here that often, relative, scaled for your port size. And I'm watching it grow and grow and grow, and you start to get a little shaky when the number gets so large. But then you look at the data, and the money that they're making is increasing. And then if you want some more porn here, DeFi Llama, 7-day fees. Tether, 150 mil. Circle, 53 mil. Pump, 42 mil. Hyperliquid, 20 mil. Like,
Yeah, absurd.
revenue, pump, 7.
Absurd.
Revenue is 18 mil for pump and 20 for Hyperliquid. I mean, it's the same, and they're making 2x on fees right now. It's like, and Hyperliquid is still multiple X's the market cap. That is, bro, I almost felt like when we first started comparing the two in fees and revenue, I was almost like, guys, it's like a little ridiculous, like.
Yeah, it was blatantly obvious at like 0.04. Like it was stupidly obvious.
It's wild how it's playing out. So okay, we could glaze each other all day on this, and I don't get me wrong, I love to do it. But I want to talk about why Pump Fund is making so much money right now and what that means for the space at large, because in my opinion, there's basically this split down the middle, separate. Even going a step back, I think that not long ago, Fartcoin was the risk-on indicator for crypto. Bitcoin was flat, Fartcoin was up, Bitcoin was up, Fartcoin was up more, Bitcoin was down, Fartcoin was, you know, down less or maybe still green. And it was the case then that people wanted to, in my opinion, with Fartcoin's the leader, people want to trade trash. And it's not the leader anymore. It's obviously Pump. And that to me says that people are more inclined to trade things like cards, right? People people are into the good coins right now, I think. And most people are not used to buying good coins, or they don't have the portfolio to buy and hold good coins. And the meme scope demons are getting, I mean, it's a bad time to be meme scope demons, right? Like it's they're getting cooked. The people in the trenches are getting cooked. The streamer meta takes off, and I have a lot of thoughts on the streamer meta, but basically if any coin you held more than an hour, you are getting absolutely cooked on. People are getting rinsed left and right, but it's printing Pump Fun. They just had their biggest buyback day ever. Pump Fun's getting rich while traders get rinsed. And I guess at a high level, and we can break it down a little bit, what is your take on the streamer meta that is taken off on Pump Fun really in the last, I don't know, 72, 96 hours, if you will?
Yeah, so I mean, I think Alan did like a really good job of making it clear that if you want to launch a coin, there's no better place to do it to Pump Fun because of how much they are paying their creators. I do think that there are a couple of bugs and tweaks. There, or what I think a couple of things need to be tweaked. Like the Charlie Kirk dev makes a terrible, awful coin about like a really awful thing, and he makes $400,000. And I mean, he sold probably like in the bonding curve. So I think that's an error. I don't think that that should be a thing. That $400,000 could be given and taken and distributed a lot of different ways. So I think there's a few things to be said about how the fees actually work. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's cool. I think it's too early to decide like what the future of creator capital markets is. And a lot of times us crypto like degens, we tend to like rush to overvalue things like very quickly, as displayed by like bag work going to 50 mil and then now 2 days later it being at like 7 mil. We overvalue things like really quickly, and then that leads people to believe that okay, this meta is dead, this was never going to work. um, so it'll be interesting to see like what streamers are still around in a month and what their potential market caps and how much they've earned could be, in the same way that a year ago one of the only things your token needed was just a community that was long lasting. So I think it'll be interesting to see like what streamers are actually here to stay and try and make it work out, because a lot of them definitely just came to collect the bag. But who's still going to be streaming 2 months from now, and what will they have like done at that point to, I don't know if the goal is to achieve a high market cap or what the goal is, the end game for these creators, but it's too early. But it's also probably too early to say that it's dead, just because a lot of like the flash in the pan coins that have launched in the last 3 days are at zero.
Do you think it's bearish Pump that they're making all of this money and their revenue is going up because traders are getting rinsed on streamer coins?
Yeah, for sure. Like, but it's not just streamer coins. Like it's anyone. All you have to do is like you could be a serial deployer and have access to make the same amount of money as someone who's actually trying to do like a legitimate stream. Um, so it's absolutely, I don't know like what the model is. I think that this would work if you like did some shit where it's like the longer you stream for, the longer you've been around. But yeah, I mean, I think it's ridiculous that just some random serial deployer was able to lick 400K from the trenches because he got lucky and deployed the correct ticker that the trenches wanted to trade for someone who just got assassinated. Like, I don't like that. I wasn't a fan of that. Um, Alex Becker like 300K, and then he just instantly just ran, and he was just literally throwing it out to a bunch of random pump fund streamers. That's another 300K gone, and that's pretty minuscule for the amount of volume that gets done in the trenches every day. But over time, I guess I could see that turning into a bigger problem.
It's a good call out. Somebody makes a good point in the chat, Spicy, and says 1.5 to $2 million in buybacks a day before streamer coins. So it's not like all the money is suddenly because streamer coins either. That's true.
100%. Yeah. Well, I mean, like the thing that you just said, like their 7-day fees look a lot better than hyperliquids, but they're also giving a lot more money back out now. So that's not revenue.
Yeah.
Because they give a shit ton of money out to devs.
They
And
do.
that's the problem is that there's a difference between trying to promote creator capital markets and streamers and like this next like era of crypto on chain versus serial deployers like making a living off a pump fund because they don't even need to trade anymore. That's where the problem exists.
Is this serial deployer thing solvable? Like you see a lot of these posts now that's basically like, why would you trade when you can just deploy? Is this destructive to the trenches? Can this be solved?
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely think it can be solved. I just think that in order to incentivize people to create on your platform, they shouldn't necessarily have access to the same amount of fees 30 days down the road than someone who just opened up their stream on day one. I think that a gradual reward system would be like the easiest like form of a fix. Because there's probably a ton of people who launched like these streamer coins and used their platform. Like FaZe Sway launched one yesterday. I'm not sure how much he made. I bet it was high 5 figures, if not low 6.
I think it was low 6.
I doubt he's going to be streaming in a week. He's going to be gone. Versus there could be someone who has maybe been streaming on Pump Fund for 2 months that hasn't even gotten like recognized yet. And like I think that naturally would like incentivize like more community success stories. So that makes sense. Just like if you stick around longer, you have more access to rewards.
Well, it makes perfect sense. Like I think that someone like Rasmer should be top of the billboard on creator fees, and he's not. But then you get this one thing that's tough, and this is part of the problem with just the way tokens work, is that most of the volume is traded in like hour 1. And so then
that is true.
So like the gradual thing is it's almost backwards. It's a
weird mob member.
Like,
you know when you've been working hard for something.
Oh shoot!
2000 is not his biggest dollar. 400 is his biggest dollar.
Did he see the 1,000 too?
Community, we love you. The first thing is 900.
I don't even know. I don't even think he saw the 1,000. I think he just saw the subs.
I mean, this conversation that we just had.
Yo,
like,
you're lying.
Together. That
yo.
There is so much flaw in the trenches, and there are so many things that are like hard to fix, and we constantly have people trying to create the solutions to these things. We have a million different launch pads doing like a million different things. Like there's like really interesting things that were coming up, like timed out fun, and those all like fizzled out. So it's like there's a ton of
okay, who couldn't pop? Not buying. Hands.
Which is why it just makes sense that like all roads lead back to trenches dies because he gets rinsed on his last meme coin. Like those tokens.
Wash my belly. Wow.
The trenches.
Clean my belly.
Floods back into it like a one giant big channel now.
That was a funny take, but it's correct. And I also think that the one positive thing you could take away from this CCM stuff is that people are motivated to figure out how to make it work, and people want it to work. Like the people vote with your wallet. You vote with your wallet. You vote with your soul, and people really want this to work. Like there is obvious demand for this to work, which is exciting.
I agree. Yeah.
So what do you think about how to make money in crypto right now? What is your take on Memescope? Like, are you trading new pairs? Should people be on Memescope? Should people be trading low caps and meme coins?
I mean, I think it's like very dangerous to be on new pairs right now. You're honestly probably, I mean, no, I'd say new pairs, you are more likely to lose money than make money unless you just have like a crazy edge and like a system and you know how to get in like good coins like pre-bond. Like I was thinking about this. I think that the way to make money in crypto right now is that we've been in this weird phase for the last 3 months where it almost feels like everyone on Twitter knows exactly how to make all the money in crypto right now, but not a lot of people are doing it. And I just mean that by like everything has been incredibly telegraphed and super open. Because a lot of that has to do with like these like treasure companies and things. And it's like we knew that these like ETH people were coming in at $2,000 ETH and they were about to buy billions and billions and billions of dollars of ETH. We saw it, the first thing that ever did it was like hype. We just saw them buying millions and millions and millions, and then it like went all the way down from 36 to 9, and it's like everyone seemed to have forgotten that they were like buying millions and millions. And then like when the Heavendex trade popped up, like, yeah, it's at 0 now, but it's like if you were in that for a week, it went from like 10 mil to 150 mil or something on really big liquidity because it was just being telegraphed that they were just buying millions and millions. And then Kyle Samani, it's like everyone knows that he's coming in to buy billions of dollars of SOL at $200 SOL, and it just feels like nobody actually wants to step in front of these things, which is really weird. And now we've seen it with hype, or with pump, sorry. So those are like the really big trades, and it's like not like crazy multiples, but I feel like in a lot of ways over the past 3 months there have been some very blatantly obvious trades that have like stared down the entirety of crypto Twitter, and a lot of people just aren't willing to step in front of that because they still think that the place to be is on chain, and it really just isn't.
Dude, I'm so happy we got there because I was just like, the best take I've heard in a long time is it is fucking being telegraphed. Nobody wants to step in front of it. And it's being telegraphed right now, by the way, on Solana. You said you ended with Kyle Samani. He came on my stream yesterday. They raised $1.65 billion and they deployed it in 24 hours. And I said,
Yeah,
Kyle, I said, Kyle, you ever heard of fucking DCA feature on Jupiter? Like, are you gonna raise more capital? And he said, bro, you think I did this for $1.6 billion to stop? I mean, they are fucking putting it in front of your fucking face that Sol is about to get the ETH twop, and Pantera just raised 500 mil. You know Kyle and them are coming back with billions. They are fucking putting it in front of your face and saying we are doing this, and people are bearish.
People are short SOL. People are in turn short SOL and like short pump right now.
And somebody made a comment and said, so is the only thing we care about buybacks? And no, however, 2025 has said this is the meta. There's always a meta. 2025 has said the name of the game is fucking buybacks. Bro, Kyle Samani is telegraphing it. He bought $2 billion of SOL in 24 hours. Price went up like fucking 20%. And he said, he said, and I quote, you think I did this just for $1.65 billion? That's all I can say. End sentence. That was a good like, take, Cordy. Good shit.
Like, whoever made that, like, the comment of, like, is all we care about buybacks, it's like, it's more of, like, as a trader, like, your job is to make money, like, as a trader, so it's like, you just, like, can't be, like, jaded against something like that. Like, you know that, like, the buybacks, like, work.
I mean, you gotta just take what the market is fucking putting in front of your face. Tom Lee did it. He's putting VWAPs on his chart and drawing TA, and he's like, you should buy 2815. Then it hits 2815, and he puts $5 billion into the chart. Like, Trump, this is like the name of the game. Trump, end of tariff, 76K BTC. You should buy now. Okay.
Yeah.
Everything's up 100%.
That was very telegraphed.
Spy hits another ATH. Elon says you should buy. I think it's a good time to buy Tesla. T-Wop's $1 billion back into the Tesla chart. Like,
isn't Tesla about to eighth?
Yes, and Elon is like he's going Jeff Hyperliquid mode, bruh.
Yeah.
Before I let you go, Frank's in here, and he said, ask Cordy how he's planning to improve on selling. He tweeted about it today. I kind of asked you this earlier, but...
Yeah, I just, like... I'm outside of the trenches for the most part, so... I feel like something that I've, like, improved on in 2025 in my trading, because I've definitely, like, had to adapt a bit, is, like... Sometimes you enter a trade and you go up money on it way faster than anticipating, and I feel like I have a pretty good eye for buying like mid cap level coins. I'm just not good at selling them because there's that I feel like I have a pretty good eye for buying like mid cap level coins. I'm just not good at selling them because there's that little like switch that flips in my brain when a coin I'm in starts going up rapidly fast after I maybe just bought a day or two ago, and I'm like reluctant to like immediately sell because it's like, oh, I just got like the God entry. So I don't know, Frank. I've round tripped a lot of shit in the last 6 months, and nothing's really changed. And I mean, it's not really like terribly like affecting my trading. Like I still do take like good trades, but sometimes you're just reluctant to sell a coin that's going up because like you think you have the God entry, you know?
That's how I feel right now. I'm like, it's like so hard to exit this trade. Good problem to have, hard, but it's just like, it's one of those ones.
But no,
go ahead.
The one thing that I would say is that the way that I do work on it is sometimes I literally just force myself to close a trade, even if it's for a smaller percent gain than I thought it was. B, because I think I've actually learned that papering is sometimes significantly better than round tripping because at least you made something, and closing a trade is like the best feeling in the world. Even if it's for a loss, just being done with the trade is the best feeling in the world. And the more you just allow yourself to close and be done with a trade, whether it's a loss or a win, you reflect on it after. It's like when you'd finish your test. It's like you study for months and then you finish it. The best feeling is walking out, whether you failed or passed. So that's how you sell, because it's just really good feeling to close a trade.
That's that college student mindset right here. Dude, Cordy, it was sick to get you back on. I'm gonna talk to Clemente next, who's allegedly a pump bear, which is bullish for our bags.
So bullish.
It's just like the best thing ever. I think your thesis is nailed. By the way, I'm gonna try to figure out how to tweet your last. Welcome to the stream. Really quickly, quick disclosure that although our guest this week is a managing partner of a registered investment advisor, nothing in this podcast should be considered an offer of Multicoin's investment advisory services or should otherwise be confused for investment, tax, legal, or other financial advice. Kyle, it's a pleasure to see you back on the stream, man. How are you?
What's up, right guy? Good to be here.
Dude, you are on a media tour of all media tours. I mean, what the fuck is going on?
Dude, it's fucking blitz mode, man. It's blitzkrieg, dude. This is one of the most exciting things I've ever done, and we're having a blast with it. And like, you gotta go hard.
You're doing it. I was watching you on TVPN. Those guys are awesome. So I believe you're officially the chairman at Forward. I don't want to butcher that if that's incorrect. I think in the last
that is correct.
Week or 2 weeks, you announced a Solana DAT. You guys raised, I believe, $1.65 billion and basically just T-wopped it into the fucking chart. We're going to talk about all of that, but I mean, dude, how did we get here? I think when you were on stream, I don't know, a month ago, I asked you and I said, Kyle, we need a Michael Saylor of Solana. I think it should be you. And you made a PR comment about there's nothing in the works like that at this time. But here we are a month later. I mean, how did this come to be?
Hey man, look, I was obviously not at liberty to talk a month ago, so apologies to your audience for that. Look, how did it come to be? I think I've had an evolution in my thinking on digital asset treasury companies that's culminated now in being here with Forward. I think that evolution is a fewfold. First was I realized at one point, that what strategy is doing is actually pretty risky. Like they're levering up, and they have coupon payments, and in some cases they have principal repayments, and they have no cash flow. Their Bitcoin produces no income or revenue. And with Solana, that's obviously not the case. You can stake Sol and earn Sol yield. You can deploy dollars in DeFi and earn dollar yield. And so if you're going to support a strategy, no pun intended, like doing the perpetual preferreds, then it actually works better doing it, like tapping into everything that Solana has to offer. So just as like a capital market structuring exercise, I realized like, oh, this is actually like much more congruent. And that was a kind of a big light bulb moment for me. I think the second thing was realizing like, SEC Chair Paul Atkins gave his speech about Project Crypto on July 31st. For those of you listening who didn't read his speech, he gave a speech to all of the employees at the SEC. I think there's 4,000 employees plus or minus. And in that speech, he said like, we are going to move U.S. securities markets on chain. Unequivocally, he said that. And by the way, my all-in presentation, which is going to come out, I think, in the next couple days here, talks about that too, and some of these other related ideas. I encourage you to watch it. Small shill here, and I kind of started thinking about Project Crypto, and I was like, like the process of transitioning securities markets from where they are today on the plumbing of DTCC and Nasdaq and NYSE and the brokerages and the banks on chain to be something like Solana and Camino and Phantom as an example. Like that's not a what's up Phantom, small shareholder. Love the Phantom guys. So I kind of realized like that process is not just gonna like happen overnight. Like I would love it if Paul Atkins could snap his fingers and make that happen. But it's not. Someone has to force this and make this happen. And it occurred to me that, being in a leadership position in a publicly traded company puts me in the ideal position to make that happen. And so one of the really important parts of what we're doing here is trying to build the world's leading, like the world's most natively on-chain publicly traded company. And you can think about those activities as falling broadly in two buckets. One bucket would be capital markets engagement, meaning anything around the equity itself. So issuing your stock on chain, fundraising, dividends, shareholder governance. To be clear, I can't commit we'll do all of those things, but I certainly hope we will be able to do those things. And I would say I'm optimistic that we can. And then the other major category that would fall under is like core business operations, meaning payroll, paying vendors, obviously trading on chain, using DeFi protocols, all that kind of a thing. And I think we're in a very unique position to do all of those things, be the guinea pig, prove to the world that it can be done. So that way, when companies 2, 3, 4, 5, and 55 eventually decide they want to do some or all of those things, that there will be a proven path for them to follow.
I want to ask you on a personal note, because I obviously understand why you are in a good position to do this. Like, that's why I suggested it to you. It's pretty obvious why you could theoretically do this. My question is, why do you want to do this? I feel like you probably, I don't know you that well. I feel like you have a sick life. I mean, you do very well. Multicoin is incredible, has fucking crushed it. You're in good shape, like good health. Like, why do you want to take on what feels like this massive undertaking and be under scrutiny and legal, all types of potential liabilities?
I mean, dude, job's not done. Like, it's that simple. I've been in crypto now, professional, and Multicoin's going to turn 8 years old on October 1st. I was in crypto for about a year and a half prior to that, coming in on a decade. And, like, obviously, job's not done. And like, I think there are two ways as a capital allocator you can look at yourself. And I'd say probably 99% of capital allocators in the world look at themselves as, look, as a capital allocator, okay, my job is to put money in places, and then people who are doing the work, go do the work, and sometimes they'll be successful, sometimes they'll fail, whatever. And you may profit or lose money as a result of that. And the other way of thinking about investing is, how do I put capital at work, and then how do I actually directly impact the outcomes of that work? And I'm a very high agency person, and I fall like very squarely in that latter bucket. and I talk about just about Project Crypto. Like, someone has to be first, and if I'm not going to be first, then the future is going to otherwise play out slower than it would if I'm first. I'm going to go make this go as fast as I can, and I recognize the position I'm in. I'm very privileged to be here, and like I'm going to take advantage of it and push it as hard as I can.
My favorite part about how this went down is your first order of business publicly is I want to debate Tom Lee.
Yeah, I woke up, so Monday morning at 6 a.m. Eastern, the press release went out for the PIPE transaction. I was in LA for the All In Summit, so it was 3 a.m. Pacific time, and I was told I had to wake up for that. So, woke up and I'm sitting in the lobby of my hotel, and the first tweet, I obviously opened Twitter because I was waiting for some calls with some journalists and stuff. And the first thing that I see on Twitter is John Charbonneau retweets and tags. And like, I know John, I like John. I was like, well, obviously I'm game. So, it's like 3:33 in the morning. And I was like, all right, like, let's do this. So, dude, I'm here to win, man. Job's not done.
I honestly, that's the fucking energy we need with these sort of figureheads and these dads. It's like, that's what people want. Threw my hat in the ring to host. TBD what happens on that. But I want to back up a second.
I would love for you to host, or if Tom wants to pick his own host, that's fine. But like, dude, I'm here to play ball.
Yeah, I'm unbiased. I'm not being paid from Forward or Multicoin. So, but I want to step back a second, and I think I would imagine a lot of people that watch this stream daily are not super familiar with Project Crypto and what that announcement literally means. Can you touch on the significance of like what does it actually practically mean to move these U.S. equity markets on chain, and what impact is that going to have on crypto?
I mean, look, it's still early days, and look, the text of the speech is online. If you just Google, Chair Atkins Project Crypto, you can read the full text verbatim. Encourage you to do so. And in the speech, he basically says, look, like the digital finance revolution is upon us. We have outdated systems. We need to modernize. We need to move U.S. securities markets on chain. He doesn't specify a timeline or like other details, but this is his announcement to the 4,000 employees at the SEC that like, guys, we got to get this done. So he kicked it off, and that's now in process. I'm sure we'll learn a lot from the SEC in the coming months on a number of kind of follow-up initiatives. Funny enough, actually, NASDAQ this past Monday, so a week ago, announced they're going to be trying to do tokenized equities trading starting in Q3 2026. So, that tells you how fast NASDAQ moves. And I obviously, Forward's not going to displace NASDAQ, but I think that there's opportunities to move a lot faster.
You can't see that and not be excited for where we're headed here. Talking about Forward more specifically, how long did this raise take and for this whole thing to come together?
2 weeks.
2 weeks?
We fundraised $1.65 billion in 2 weeks.
That sounds ridiculous. In 2 weeks.
It was absurd. My calendar was an absolute disaster. Still is kind of an absolute disaster. But dude, I was Mountain Time. Obviously, most fun, big money's East Coast. So I was up most mornings at 6 a.m. on the phone with institutional investors, and then I was taking calls late into the night with folks in Asia. We were back to back, and we knocked it out of the park. Props to my friends at Galaxy and Jump. They were in the trenches with me. So, congrats. That sounds unreal. Like, is 2 weeks just a product of there is extreme demand in markets to get access to these assets? Like, people are just foaming at the mouth to buy Solana and to buy ETH and to buy crypto. Like, what does that mean? Yeah, I mean, also it's like, look, we generally wanted to move quickly. We could have extended the fundraise for 2 more weeks if we wanted. There's no reason legally we had to go when we did. But like, again, job's not done. Like, I move with a sense of urgency. We had some logistical things that kind of made Monday a week ago the earliest we could go, and we were 2 weeks before that. So we said, okay, we have 2 weeks, and we got to go as hard as we can for 2 weeks, and so that's how we ended up. and you know, like, you know, what can I say about demand? I think people were really excited about what we're doing because of the pedigree of our team.
Oh, yeah.
We're very fortunate that we have three really strong teams, all in very different ways. You know, the guys at Galaxy, they're one of the preeminent financial firms in crypto. They're one of the largest trading counterparties in the space. They ran the Sol state, the lock Sol sale for the FTX estate. They have one of the best block packing and staking operations out there. Forward Industries, by the way, is a customer of Galaxy Asset Management,
Okay.
and those guys are running a lot of the logistics and trading and staking operations for Forward. Obviously, the guys at Jump, I don't think you need any introduction. They are one of the largest trading firms in the world, the largest trading firm in crypto. They're obviously building FireDancer. They are as deep in Solana as you can get. And, you know, for us, obviously bringing in the kind of venture side, both for Solana itself and for being one of the largest VCs in the Solana ecosystem, it was just very natural. We all looked at each other. We're like, guys, like this is the dream team. Like, let's go knock it out of the park together. And it was really easy for us to align on that. And dude, we started working together before we even signed a contract between the three of us.
Wow.
We were just like, we got to run hard at this and let's just go kill it.
Yeah, it's incredible. Tell me about. I mean, you guys deployed capital like really fast. I think it was over the course of, I don't know, 48 hours. I think your average is in the 230s somewhere. Was that the plan? Like, you guys just fucking started firing at Solana. Like, what was the deploying plan?
I can't comment on like what we have a press release that went out this morning. So you should read the press release. I think we bought 6.8 million Sol. I can't really get into like the whys on we chose to do what we did and when and how we did it. Other than I'll just say, I think the other important thing to note is I told everyone we're going to be the most natively on-chain company in the world. And that means our first Sol that we buy has to be on-chain. And so we bought our first $1 million market order off Solana, natively on-chain using DFlow. I believe the DFlow aggregator ended up hitting the SolFi prop AMM. And I tweeted the transaction ID earlier today. It's in the press release.
Chat was asking if you've ever heard of a DCA on Jupiter or anything. I don't know.
We are aware of DCA on Jupiter. I think given our size, that was probably not the right tool to use.
I'm sorry, I had to. And apologies if you've already announced this, but is it in the plans to raise more capital from here to buy more Solana? Like, how are you guys thinking about that?
I didn't do all this work to raise 1.6 and then stop and then do nothing. So, you know, you should. I think big.
How hard can you go? Like, is there like a target on what % of Solana you would like to own? Is that how you think about it?
No. Look, I think when Saylor started, he didn't think he was going to have $80 billion or whatever on his balance sheet, or 50 billion. I don't know, some absurd number. One thing I've learned is if things work, they get a lot bigger than you think they can. So I think my aspirations are exponentially larger than the status quo.
So when you look at Saylor, because I'm sure you've taken a lot of inspiration from people that have come before you with and the low cap stuff. And I feel like that dynamic has like shifted back, and the people that are winning are again the high port, spot and chill, hold good coin chads. And then you're basically left with, like, when I was doing this list, a lot of people were mad at me that there was all these trenchers that were left off, and I'm like, they're good trenchers, but they're not good Twitter follows. Like, they don't tweet anything that it's, you know, as much as I love a good anime edit and a P&L screenshot, it doesn't do anything for you. It doesn't do anything for you. I would much rather read like a Ryan Watkins thesis, or like, you know, you mentioned Flood. Like, it doesn't do anything for you. And so I think that the dynamic has shifted back a little bit now, where this noise to signal from a lot of trenchers that are really stuck in meme coins are everything, because that's sort of your personality, is like past. And following that sort of gives you this like weird confluence on coins that like you probably don't really want to be paying attention to.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. I like that list. surprisingly, I mean, you know a lot of balls. So I give you so much respect for that. I don't like I said, I didn't really care not being on it. I was surprised to see like you threw some trenches in there. Granted, like obviously the pal, you gotta give him gotta give him his credit. It's one of the best to ever do it. But yeah, like there's so much good knowledge in there, and I was proud to like know a lot of these people because I knew like everyone in the chat was like, "Who's that? Who's that? Who's that?" And I'm like, "Bro, you don't know ball,
which is crazy.
You don't know ball."
Also, before I would cut you off to say at the beginning, I did my like the trio. I said you, JS, and Cordy. I blatantly missed Uber Mendez. Wanted to say that, but resume.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think you providing that obviously like it was stroking a lot of people's ego. Obviously, like people want to be on on a top list, but I think more importantly, getting that knowledge and knowing these kind of people like what they're good at and the information they provide completely for fucking free, by the way, is so invaluable. People underestimate
וואלה, מעניין עם תקופת אני ראיתי שמישהו כתב שהדקס של סולנה, כאילו מבחינת משתמשים חודשיים, ירד מאיזה... לא זוכר מכמה, אבל כאילו מעל...
I'm sorry, but nobody fucking needs you to be their exit liquidity on Aster, bro. Like there's, 2 billion volume. Your $20 buy is not gonna get me my exit liquidity, right? So, a lot of people tweet these kind of like thesis and bullish things and all this information, and people just ignore it because they're like, oh, like I have a small port, quote unquote, and I can't really do anything here, or like this play, quote unquote, is not made for me. When especially like when looking at the hype trade, at fading anybody that faded it from like $20 to 50, the whole way through, like 9 months of you follow any of these people, like at least 20 of them has mentioned hype through day in and day out. And for some reason, like the first cycle trencher thinks they're the smarter ones that doesn't need to take this trade. At the end of the day, money is money. I tell everyone, like whether it's 20% with size or like 100% with a small gamble, as long as you're stacking your bread, it doesn't matter. I think a lot of people are not willing to, especially if it's not like on sold, they're not willing to like move their money around. So that's why probably a lot of people like faded the hype trade. They're like, oh, I'm gonna even the people that did, they're like, oh, I'm gonna quick flip hype and then I'm gonna swap back to soul for some odd ass reason. But I love that list a lot. I look forward to seeing the 75 to 100 because like there's so much coverage already. It makes me wonder like who else like having you thrown on that list that people want to see, whether it's like the Stoic Savages or like the Hasibs, because I think there's definitely a lot of people in venture capital that you can add. I love the fact that you added like the Masari and that you had them on a live, like and you bring on a lot of good guests too, which is fucking crazy. Like the IGN founder the other day, because I came across the AP2 news, and I was like, oh, this news was like 1 day late, and IGN didn't like pop off until like a day later. Like that, knowing that information and taking a leverage long on that, so free. And I think the only person that I saw personally was OX Sun. I saw him write about it. But like knowing again the broader side of like DeFi, TradFi, or like just finance news in general, like if you saw like they partnered with IGN and that was like the only one with a coin, like that was so free to long.
Thanks, man. Also, I think Trading Axe hit it, which is crazy. I think he posted a chart. I think that the streams have been pretty good recently, where there just isn't like, I don't know, people are just like down to come on at this point because it's gotten less retarded and more serious. And so
do you reach out or they reach out?
I reach out. Usually 9 times out of 10.
Crazy.
9 times out of 10, I just reach out. Yeah. I mean, it's there isn't that many, like, bro, I mean, I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about this the other day. It's like I want to do a pod. Like I want to go on someone's pod. I know I'm not like the most hyped guest of all. I know I'm not Jez, but I'm like thinking in my head, where do I even go to do media? I don't even. I'm gonna do Venture Coin. It's Luke Martin, who just made a Pump Fund streaming on Pump because I think he's great. There's like not that many places to go. You know what I mean? So people just think to themselves like, all right, they see my clips enough. I'm doing it enough. They might as well just fucking come on. And so you get enough of the like serious guests to signal to the other serious guests, and then it just happens. By the way, you're gonna love number 76. Just wait.
I don't want to be in 76, bro. That's way more disrespect than leaving me out of 75. Like, don't even put me on there. Wait, but let me ask you: Have you collaborated with Taiki yet in the past?
I've had him on the. He came on the stream a bunch during AI, and then I went on Steady Lads with Jordy and them. That was actually the first interview I did after Libra. I'm trying to get him to come on this, but he's like just kind of busy. I think he's one of the best. I steal a lot of guests from him. He had OX Law on, who's awesome. I stole OX Law from him. Like if Taiki gets a guest on, I just auto DM like come on the stream.
Yeah, I think Taiki is definitely one of the best to do it. I would like to see, like if you and him, maybe get like 2 other people from venture capital to kind of like just do like a round table. I think that'd be very cool.
I'm open to shit like that too. I like doing the like multi-person, bringing a bunch of smart people on. I had Court and Robert Chang the other day, which was fun. They're both really sharp. 3 is a little tough. It can be tough sometimes as like a moderator, but if it's like I love one of the best pods in crypto is what Hasib and Robert Lesher and Tarun and
I watched that.
Tom Schmidt. That thing is I watch it once a week. It's great.
It's great.
Here's a question for you: is again, I feel like, and look, a lot of people right now are really set for whatever reason on calling cycle top, cycle bottom. I don't really think that I'm in a position, like I'm not handsome with the trades. I'm not really in a position to call cycle tops. So I'm going to just like hold my spot BTC, and then I'm going to just like make the trades that, like, I feel like this cycle, maybe from Trump on, has very much been like AI season. I remember AI season having trading new pairs, trading meme scope, new coins, but also just having like a basket of AI coins and they would all go up together. This year, 2025, has very much been take the one trade or the 2 trades that are in front of you. And there's been a lot. Like, obviously, Hype has done incredible. IP story is one that no one really talks about. This Aster thing. Pump has been one. Athena was one. Like, there's been a lot of trades that have just been obvious in front of you that have been there to take. But a lot of them are more high cap, spot, chill type of stuff that if like the trenchers miss. My question for you, because I feel like you've hit so many in a row, like I guess I didn't know you that well in 2024, but do you feel like you have evolved your trading style over the last year or so, and how has that changed?
From 2024 till now, definitely not in the sense that probably what you're thinking. Over that year or since then, I've definitely learned to take profit a little bit more. Ever since 2017, I've always been quite naively bullish on everything. So I'll hold. So like me holding for an extreme amount of time is not uncommon for me.
Okay.
I held ETH from, $50 to 1,000, all the way back down to 300, and then held it for 3 years, and then capitulated the max bottom. So, like, this is not, holding for 9 months for me isn't like the craziest thing in the world. And so in that sense, like, I've kind of gotten rid of that a little bit over the years, where I'm willing to take some profit, willing to off ramp. I'm not like, and it took a lot of learning, right? Like I bought so many AI bags and just completely got rinsed on them. Like I remember buying so much of Send AI, and I was like, this is the library that every AI project is using. Surely this fucking goes up. And it never goes up. Because obviously I realized, especially with product market fit, these projects that come out when things are hot, it might not be the right time for them. Like AI might not come back for another 3 years. And so I don't think buying and holding those kind of bags is worthwhile. But yeah, my trading style has definitely shifted here and there. Now I try to like move with the market a little bit more. For the things that I truly believe in, I'll hold for multi months, like hype. I didn't really have targets for that, and I still don't really have targets for it. To kind of ease the boredom, I do trade in the trenches, and I'm like quick flipping nonstop. But yeah, it's definitely evolved a lot.
I didn't realize. I knew you were Ung, but I didn't realize you were Pops.
Bro, chill on me. I'm not that old.
I didn't realize you were Poppy, bro. $50 is crazy.
Yeah, it's a crazy time.
It was 2017.
2017.
Damn, I just wish you were. Go ahead.
I was no, in 2016. That's when I first started. That's when like I was going on these random websites, clicking on Bitcoin faucets, where they just gave you free $10 of Bitcoin just for clicking a button. That was crazy times.
That's crazy. Okay, I have a question for you. Also, Tiana, thank you for the gifted subs. I have a question for you. Is like, I started the stream talking about how I think most people would make more money if they weren't on CT or weren't reading it all day, which is like a weird. I don't know. It's a weird thing because I love crypto Twitter, but on days like today, I hate logging on and everyone is just max bear posting for. It's so stupid. Like everyone's like max bear posting that is not short, or is piling shorts at local bottom that had was max bullish last week, and so it just you can kind of get lost in this slop fest. But it also makes me struggle to take trades. Like on the first Aster dip or whatever, I'm looking at it, I'm thinking about it, I'm still. I wasn't like seriously about to buy, but then I see the dumbest person I know is tweeting and is like, "There's free money on the floor. You just gotta pick it up," and it's like an Aster screenshot, and I'm like, "Bro, fuck this," and whether I accept it or not, it genuinely affects my CT positioning, or what I perceive as CT's positioning genuinely affects my ability to take and hold a trade. Like, how do you think about the consensus ideas on crypto Twitter?
I remember a while back, I think it was Pao who mentioned it. He was saying like he doesn't pay attention to Twitter all too much because it's just one is just too much noise. And I think you just got to really believe in the sense that like your ability to look at information and market sentiment and everything is better than the general public. I do agree to a certain extent. Like if people didn't look at Twitter as much, and obviously it depends on like what your feed is, right? If you only had that top 75, it's to be a totally different feed. But if you're a first cycler and your entire feed is first cyclers, then like when everyone's doom posting, you're not going to get anything out of it. And so I don't know, me personally, I generally just think a lot of people on CT is just really stupid. So like when I see these kind of posts, I just kind of like filter them out. I don't really like pay attention to them. I remember when ETH hit that 5,000 mark, and I was like, this doesn't make sense. Liquidity is not moving that well on chain, and there's no chance the first time that we hit 5,000, it's gonna break 5,000. There's just no way. When we were stuck at 4,000 for like 8 different times, and so I was like, I publicly said it. I was like, I'm shorting. And people call me fucking retarded. Like, but that trade itself that played out within 2 days, which was cool in its own right. But behind the scenes and the thought process was like, I was willing to wait the entirety of September for the short to like come into fruition if it didn't, that first week. Because one, generally, like everyone knows, in TradFi and DeFi, September is by far the worst volume and low chance to go up kind of month within the entire year. Not saying like history always repeats itself, but like the chances combined with the fact that trenches were absolutely fucking terrible at the time, like it just made sense to short the absolute all-time high of each. So I don't know. I don't pay attention to Twitter all in that sense. I scroll it a lot, but I think I've gotten to the point where I'm really good at like filtering all the noise.
It's been a weird cycle on the thought of like what you said on the E thing is interesting because it did happen, and the same kind of happened with Seoul. It's like majors are starting to move, and they're getting these weird institutional TradFi like DAT bids, basically, and
Yeah.
the money's just like not really trickling down to on chain as you thought, as you think it would. And I think it's very evident too when you see a pile of money move into a coin or a narrative like cards and the RWA stuff, and then something else gets hot, and then cards dumps and the other thing pumps. Like it feels like there's like one ball of money to sort of go around right now, and there just hasn't been the major flows back to the on-chain stuff like I think a lot of people have been expecting. Maybe it still happens, but it hasn't really happened.
Yeah, I don't think and a lot of people kind of have this misconception. Oh, just because Bitcoin's all-time high or ETH is all-time high, that equals money's coming in. At the end of the day, especially with institutional investments nowadays, like they can be market makers as well. They can hunt people down on their longs and too. I think the liquidity and new people that come in, that takes I think that takes like at least 2+ quarters after majors hit all-time highs. It always seems to be some kind of like lagging process. I don't know whether it's like just because it takes time for it to reach the news and then public or whatever it may be. But you won't like when BTC hits all-time high again, you won't see like XRP. What if XRP hits like $25 TikToks? Like you won't see that right away. It's almost always like months and months later where you feel like quote unquote retail's coming of like a norm.
Oh, that was brutal, dude. That was so bad. That was brutal. Why do you think you're good, Hooker? I don't feel like there's that many people that are really just hitting. Like, there's been a couple trades. If you hit them, I feel like you're him. And there haven't been that many people that have sort of hit them all in continuation. I guess you said you missed pump, which you could have just lied. I would have believed you that you hit it. But
no, I actually got rinsed on pump. So
yeah, thanks for playing. Why are you good right now in a market where it feels like so many people are struggling?
One, probably because I'm Unk, I guess. I don't know. Like I've had nearly a decade of experience. But I think one of the things that does help me a lot is my personality. I'm very mellow when it comes to emotions. So when I hit a big trade, I'm not celebrating. When I hit a big loss, I'm not celebrating or like down in the dumps or whatever. Like, I'm generally just very focused. And I don't know. I'm very big on like critical thinking. So I'm able to kind of like dissect a lot of these projects for what they're worth, these memes for what they're worth. Like for a lot of trenchers, it's surface level thinking where, oh, this is funny, I'm gonna buy it. Oh, this is not funny, I'm not gonna. Oh, this guy has 7 million followers, I'm gonna buy it. Oh, this guy's 100 followers, there's no way this should be at 200K. Like this very surface level thing. So I think in that sense, I'm pretty good. And it probably comes from my CS background to just be able to think and look at other resources as quick as possible. So when I see projects like Aster and Cards and Avantis,
למה אני לא רואה את ההודעה הזאת שלחת בצ'אט אצלי? זה שהיה עוד אני. רואה, אתה בטח לא בצ'אט. אם אתה בצ'אט זה כי נתנו לאני אופציה, זה כמו בוט עכשיו שמצייץ בטוויטר, וגרמו לבוט לצייץ שזה יוציא כמו מטבע כזה. בגלל זה. זה הלך לאפס מאוד מהר נראה לי. למה אני לא רואה את הצ'אט בעצם? No sé dónde va a tener puesto. Ups, ما لاحظت.
It's like I know where to look. Like I know where to look to find this kind of information that I'm looking for. Like I go straight to DeFi Llama just for the bare bones information. And I know how to do a basic Twitter search. I know how to, look up what was Pantera's capital investment in Avantis, things like that. Whereas, the people that look at Aster, they're like, how the fuck do I get to BNB from Seoul?
Yeah.
Like people get stuck. I think, I think those two things probably make me quote unquote good, I guess.
Honestly, sick answer. How much do you think Pastel is up on Aster?
Let me think. Somewhere in the ballpark, probably of like 30 plus, I'd imagine.
Ugh.
But I like posted it. I posted it for everybody on when I posted in Pastel a couple minutes or so. I posted on Twitter, Telegram, and I definitely felt it was a confluence trade or a consensus trade.
That's disgusting. Are there? How often are you saying, chat, this is a buy at everyone, bid this?
Not often. Probably third time ever.
Really?
Yeah.
What were the other two?
Trump and hype.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't know if you saw this screenshot. Actually, I wanna send you it because it's such a funny screenshot. I posted it in our VC call where we normally trench. I'm gonna send you it in DMs.
Okay, bro. Send it on Discord.
Yeah.
Let me pull it up.
Such a funny looking chat.
Chat, can you see this? I put 500K.
No, they can't. They can't.
Oh, do you not want me to show it?
No, you can show it.
Oh, you just scared the fuck out of me, dude.
No, I was saying like you can't see it on your.
Oh, it's so small. I went and saw it at 300 mil, 50% cheap. TBL was like 300 mil for launch. Binance basically crime, MYX at 3 bill. Need link. I put 500K. Whoa. That was like 300 mil for.
Снятика. Magic. מה אתה רוצה?
I went and was the 300 mil for insanely cheap. TBL was like 300 mil for launch. Mine's Misty Crime, and wife's a 3 bill. Link. I put 500k.
Whoa. Pinging everyone just in case they'll ignore me. I'm 200k. That's crazy. Damn.
Yeah.
G fucking G, bro. Wait, let me come back.
I sent it to a lot of people too, like friends and stuff. I was like, yeah, I'll put 500k in this. I'm up this much. Like, don't ignore me. And like everyone just ignored me.
Whoa. What was the who was it? It was Issa and JS Shock that was like getting spammed.
Yeah.
That screenshot was crazy.
It was Issa. Yeah, it was mainly Issa. Issa sent us like 8-10 cents or something like that. And then yeah, after a little bit, after I got in and after we kind of like talked it, yo boys, we need $1 million in this, like ASAP now. Like,
damn.
Go fucking start selling your shit. I was like really confident.
So the one other thing I want to ask you about is, we kind of touched on it. How do you think about, like, okay, I think people are, when someone like Ansem comes on Twitter and they say top, and it gets 2 million views, and then the market goes down, yeah. I think people get pretty paranoid and skittish and a little scary. Like, it doesn't feel great. Like, even I am like, fuck, that's not great, you know? Like, not ideal that that's happening.
Yeah.
How do you think about being risk on and trading in crypto from this point?
I see things a little differently. One, again, very naively bullish on the space in general, but you know, I don't think like with this mass adoption and institutional investment that we'll see everything just crumble